In October of 1879, Thomas Edison was 32 years old, working out of Menlo Park, New Jersey, trying to make a light bulb that would actually last. By then, he had already burned through material after material. Carbonized paper, platinum, bamboo, cotton thread, thousands of trials, long nights, men asleep on benches, burn marks on tables, glass dust on the floor. The air in that lab smelled like oil, hot metal, and things failing one after another. And there was a night, late, after another filament gave out too soon, when quitting would have made perfect sense. Not in the dramatic way people like to tell it now, not with some grand speech. More likely in the ordinary, ugly way men actually come apart. Exhaustion, irritation, silence, a man rubbing his eyes with blackened fingers, looking at notes that prove how much time and money have already been spent. Investors waiting, newspapers ready to laugh, workers looking to him for certainty when he didn't feel certain at all. That's what a breaking point usually looks like, not a headline, not a movie scene. It looks like a man who hasn't slept right in weeks. It looks like eating standing up because sitting down feels too heavy. It looks like staring at a workbench after midnight, knowing the last 6 tries failed, and the next one might fail too. It looks like doing the math in your head and realizing how little margin is left. Some of you know that exact feeling, even if your lab looked different. Maybe yours was a kitchen table with divorce papers on it. Maybe it was a parked truck after getting laid off at 46. Maybe it was a county rehab bed 37 days clean with your hands still shaking at night. Maybe it was bankruptcy paperwork, a storage unit, a motel lamp, and a child asking when things were going back to normal. Men don't usually fall apart in public. They do it quietly. They do it while answering emails, while making court payments, while pretending they're just tired, while eating cereal at 2 a.m. and staring at nothing. That is rock bottom for a lot of men. Not noise, not drama. Just the private humiliation of seeing your life become smaller than it used to be. And if that's where you are, listen carefully. The turning point is almost never loud. For Edison, it wasn't confidence. It wasn't certainty. He didn't suddenly know the answer. He just refused to let one more failed attempt decide who he was. In that lab, surrounded by proof that things were not working, he made a smaller decision than people want to admit. He stayed. That was it. He stayed in the room. He looked at the notes. He changed the material. He ran another test, not because failure stopped hurting, not because he felt inspired, because he had not yet given himself permission to become a man who walks away just because he is embarrassed, tired, or behind. That matters. Because rebuilding your life is rarely one bold act. It is usually one private refusal. You get up. You make the call you don't want to make. You go to work, even if it's smaller work than you used to have. You don't text her. You don't pour the drink. You make the payment. You tell the truth. You clean the apartment. You show up for your kid on a Wednesday when nobody is praising you for it. That's where the identity shift happens. Not when the money comes back. Not when the body changes, not when people finally admit they were wrong about you. It happens earlier. It happens when a man decides in private that he will be reliable before he is impressive, that he will be honest before he is admired, that he will finish small things before he talks about big things. Edison eventually found the version that worked. The bulb burned longer. The world changed. But that outcome started on nights when nothing worked and he continued anyway. That's the part men like you need to remember. You do not become dangerous again when life gets easy. You become dangerous when your excuses stop sounding persuasive.